my fabulous people. This is Melanie Warren, also known as Coach Mel. And if this is your first time to my channel, if you're returning, welcome back. So do you want to find out how to win your spouse and be an influence as it relates to your infertility or adoption struggle? Let's find out. Well, my fabulous people, let's find out what you can do as a spouse on how you can influence your spouse and become an influence. Now, I know I've experienced it. Well, I know that being on the infertility and adoption struggle, it is challenging. And sometimes your spouse might not always be on the same page with the plan that you're desiring on how to achieve the goal of building your family, whether it's through your womb or your heart, whether it's through fertility or whether it's through your heart. And sometimes having a conversation and really opening up with each other does wonderful, but you have to have the right mindset. So I want to share 3 things on what you can do as it relates to influencing your spouse and winning them over. Okay, I thought I said it back up, but needless to say, let's go ahead. So the first thing I want you to do is don't criticize. Don't be so easy to criticize and be critical to your spouse, nagging and badgering about what should be done, what needs to be done, what you want. You know, a lot of times we really have to be understanding of where they are. And sometimes you might not be on the same page as it relates to your fertility or adoption struggles. So you want to make sure that you don't be so critical of each other. Because why be so critical? Because all that does is push you all further apart. And this is a time that it should really push you all closer together, because both of you are going through this process together. Okay, so don't be so critical. Don't be a nagging spouse. Yeah. Okay, number 2. Now, I know you say, well, okay, if I can just change their mind, change how they look at things, their perspective. No, before you try and change anybody else, your spouse or anybody else for that matter, first you have to perfect you. Yes, I said it. You have to perfect you, because a lot of times we don't tend to realize and look at ourselves, but we're so eager to want to change the other person. And there's some things that we also have to deal with first. So the next thing you need to do, as I said, make sure as you are trying to change your spouse, actually you have to change yourself first, because what ends up happening is that they will get to change. They will change because you change yourself. All right? The next thing I want you to do, number 3, be willing to forgive quickly. Yes. Be willing to forgive quickly. And what do I mean? Well, there's going to be some times where you're going to be upset with each other. You're going to be annoyed with each other. And you want to make sure that you don't want to add any more unnecessary stress than is already going on as it relates to your infertility and adoption struggles. You don't need the stress, because you want to remain focused and calm on the goal that you're trying to do in building your family. So be willing to forgive. And when you are willing to forgive quickly, as well as don't keep bringing things up. If you're forgiven your spouse for whatever it might be, deal with it and move on. And don't keep hashing it up, okay? And sometimes, okay, that little enemy in your head was just like, oh, but you didn't forgive them. Remember what they just did? Then and it keeps going on. You listen, you tell that little voice to quiet itself, and say, I've already forgiven them, and move on. I've already forgiven them. If you have to say that every time in your head, every time you want to think about it, then do so. But you want to make sure that you forgive quickly. Okay, so those are the things that I want to share with you as it relates to how to win your spouse and and be an influence as it relates to your infertility and adoption struggle. So I thank you so much for watching on our conversation. So today we're having a conversation So make sure you go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and click the button, click the bell, ding, 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 so you know when I upload weekly videos. And make sure you subscribe. Did I say that? Make sure you subscribe. And make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and you see the links below. All right, my fabulous people. So make sure you pray, plan, and believe, because God is still in the business of doing miracle. Have a fantabulous day.